Music's greatest songs. Greatest songs. Worth covering. Original classic hitmakers.
This is too funny. Honestly, I had no idea when this song was suggested to me that it would actually be so riveting to read about the artist involved and actually the song in itself. I think we all remember Gangnam Style. 2012 I'm going back to, October 2012. So almost to the day. And we're talking about a Korean artist called Park Jae-sang, but actually known as Psy. That's his stage name, and it's PSY. And to be honest, I haven't really looked him up since 2012. So actually, when I saw his name, I was walking around going, who knows how to pronounce this? So it's been an education during the research. He was born in 1977, Psy, December 31st, 1977. And when you talk about him, you have to stylize his name if you write it down into caps. He likes it capital P, capital S, and a capital Y. And if you remember anything about him, you'll know that he is distinctive in all areas. This was an artist that literally crashed in with this song. It immediately became such a smash on YouTube. I'm going to give you the figures in a minute. It's unbelievable. It's one of the top 8 viewed videos of all time, full stop. I mean, it went into 2 billion, 3 billion. It's ridiculous how watched it was. You've got things like the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon at the UN headquarters expressing a desire to work with Psy because of his unlimited global reach. That's what happened to this artist. The music video for Gangnam Style exceeded 1 billion views on YouTube, becoming the first video to do so in the website's history ever. And then subsequently, it was recognized by the media as the king of YouTube. He was. And in 2014, the video for Gangnam Style hit 2 billion. Since then, I've got a new figure. It's up to 4 now, and I can do that in a minute. But it does remain the 8th most viewed video on YouTube with over 4 billion views. MTV noted Psy's rise from being little known kind of outside South Korea to now being hailed as the viral star of 2012. They recognized that instantly. And he performed in a globally televised New Year's Eve celebration in 2012 with MC Hammer on stage in front of a live audience of over 1 million people in Times Square. Now, YG Entertainment, who are the people that released it, actually came to an end in 2018. So he decided to found his own company. Developed a rapping stutter. And he called it P Nation. And that was 2019. Let me tell you a bit about his early life. It places him so beautifully. So Park Jae-sang was born on December 31st, as I said, and he's part of a very affluent family in Seoul in South Korea. His father was the executive chairman of a DI corporation, and they manufactured semiconductor manufacturing equipment. This is listed on the Korean Stock Exchange. His mother, Kim, owns restaurants all over Gangnam. Stay with me. So he attended, and this is where it gets so good, he attended these schools, blah, 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 did the normal thing, didn't like school much. He was known as the class clown. In an interview, a former teacher of his said, I remember him making a lot of jokes, inappropriate jokes during class, and he had a huge influence, and he would drive the entire class to his jokes. And, the teachers they disliked him. The word dislike is actually used. And the teacher said, looking back, I see the dislike, but I also see that he added a great energy to the class. Interesting. So you've got all these things that talk about him.
Well, one second. I wonder if the teacher would say that if Psy did not become a sensation.
No.
Just saying.
No. Remember, I do think it's a hard job being a teacher, and you've got one kid that is sucking in your energy, the time. You've got 20 kids. You've got to share it around.
You got to deal with him or her.
Yeah, you have. But if you've got 20 Psys, I mean, it's just anarchy. It's a hard job, a teacher. Although you shouldn't start disliking a child that clearly is showing, extraordinariness.
He apparently became bigger than that school that he is in. Made much more money.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is really funny. Ready? So in 1996, there were preparations being made for Psy to take over the DI corporation from his father. Now, he'd originally planned to study business administration at Boston Uni, and this is 1996. However, he arrives in the United States of America. He completely loses interest in his studies of business, started spending his tuition funds on musical instruments and entertainment equipment, including a computer. Then he got an electric keyboard. Then he got a MIDI interface. Started attending an English language summer course. I mean, the focus is unbelievable. And that's what he starts to do. He then dropped out of Boston University and applied to Berklee College of Music. And that's where he went. He then went and took lessons there, so he got in. He did ear training, contemporary writing, music synthesis. Then he dropped out of that and he went back to South Korea to pursue a career as a singer without having actually attained any degree, any qualification, not from Boston University or from Berklee. That was him, but super interesting. And then he starts releasing albums. And on one of these albums, of course, is this particular song. Let's go over to this song, because this song is just a phenomenon. So it was released on July the 15th, 2012. It was the lead single of his 6th album, people. So he'd already done 5 albums at this point. So he does his 6th album, and it's K-pop and it's dance pop and blah, blah, blah. Gangnam Style is actually a Korean neologism, must be how you say it, neologism. Basically means it's a sort of a sentence that refers to a lifestyle associated with the Gangnam district of Seoul. And the song received mixed reviews, it had a catchy beat, blah, blah, blah. But then suddenly it debuted at number 1 at South Korea's chart. And then from then on just shot out. Just literally was meteoric, went everywhere. It influenced popular cultures worldwide. It peaked at number 2 in America. By the end of 2012, Gangnam Style had topped the music charts of more than 30 countries, including Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Russia, UK, everyone. Number 1, everywhere. Global media attention, huge public audiences, and it was recognised in the end by the Guinness World Records as the most liked video on YouTube at the time. It subsequently won Best Video at the MTV Music Awards, and then it became a source of parodies. So then it got more attention because everyone was doing parodies of it, and I remember all this. I mean, actually, now I'm talking, I'm like, yeah, I remember all this kind of thing. It became the first...
Sorry, what was your first impression of it? Like
weird. That's what I remember watching it going, oh, this is quite weird. Because actually the dance movements are weird. You know that he got into huge trouble with the Korean government.
Wow.
For this song.
Nice pause right there.
Right?
Like, bam.
Yeah, no, they were properly...
They're listening.
They're offended. Not only are they offended, they didn't sue him. They banned him. They banned the album. They're quite strict kind of behaviours from them because they said they inappropriate dancing, inappropriate lyrics, doesn't reflect us, they don't like it. So, most watched video on YouTube up to 24th of November 2012. It surpassed the music video for Baby by Justin Bieber. Hilarious. And then it surpassed something else. The Charlie Puth song. And then the dance, I'm just going to end on this. The dance was attempted by political leaders all over the world. I'm so proud to say that David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, tried to do it. The United Nations Secretary General, obviously I mentioned him, he had a go at it. He held it as a force for world peace. And then it went to the White House. The US President Barack Obama, he cited the success of Gangnam Style as an example of how people around the world are being swept up by the Korean wave of culture. I mean, there is nowhere this song didn't go. So...
Opa. One second though, I just gotta say, I gotta let this out of my chest. The thing is, when you look at music, and no, big respect aside, do you want to be the longevity of it? Or do you want, like, even if you look at Lewis Capaldi, for 2 years, 3 years, where is he right now? He's coming to the UAE, where is he right now?
Yeah.
And that is a decision that the artist can make, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying, do you want longevity in the music business or industry, because there's some people that started.
I don't think artists do always make that decision.
Yeah.
I think it can happen to them, and I definitely think. Look, he'd done 5 albums before,
Facts.
and he has tried to do several singles afterwards,
Facts.
and they haven't landed in the same way.
Yeah.
This is one of those meteoric, unexpected. Oh my goodness, I didn't realise that was happening.
Yeah.
Are we going to have bread for tea? Kind of what's going on?
But I'm
moment.
pretty sure if you talk to Psy right now and you tell him Gangnam Style, he's gonna be like, I'm sick of that Gangnam Style. Like, because no artist in the world, and again, I'm just jumping the gun. Maybe nobody in the world wants to be just known for
just
one thing.
Song. No, absolutely.
And it gets like, I've had interviews with artists who are like, just known for one thing. I'm like, can we talk about something else? I've done 4 other albums, bro, but this is the one that everyone knows. I'm like, because that's what when people want to know. So it's bad when an artist puts in a box like that, because I can bet you right now, no one else from the listeners know any other song for Psy, except that Orange and the Pen thing. I don't know what was.
I don't even know the Orange and the Pen. Yeah, but the one thing is, you mustn't lose respect for the thing that made you famous.
Fact.
You can't get to the point that he's at and famous for this, and then go, but I'm really cross with it for making me famous. You wouldn't even be there. There is something extraordinary about what he brought to the table. The second song, I do remember the second song that came out after this one was very, very similar. It sounded a bit the same.
That's the Orange and the Pen one, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm right. I don't know.
We didn't want to see. We didn't want to see.
Do you know what it is? Like, is it the Orange and the Pen?
I'm trying to find it. I think it's the one where
put the pencil in the orange and orange.
No, that's not him. The song goes something like, where do you get this body from? Something like that.
Really?
It's like, I got it from my.
The Orange and the Pen is not him?
It's not him. No.
What?
It's a completely different person.
Really?
See, I don't even know. But I think that's very. Look, this is normal because we don't know. This song, Gangnam Style, follows like the Pump Up the Jam, Macarena, Cotton Eye Joe, all those kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? It sits in that box.
No, but they're hits. We all vibe to it. Like Macarena, Cotton Eye Joe. Oh my God.
It's made him a family name. It made politicians talk about him. He went all over. I think he needs to, I hope he doesn't get sort of grumpy if he's asked about it. Of course we all want to know about it. What we don't want is a rerun. Very difficult to follow that because he crashed through. We'd never seen dance moves like it, let alone heard a song like it. And also we were all a bit like, what does it mean? And of course he taught us. And he brought Korea to the national stage. So let's go. We're going to do it in full. It's not just a party song, Listen to Psy. Listen to what he's saying. He comes from Gangnam. There's a very real thing here. And apparently this is the way they do it when they're there. Amazing. This music rates. It's Psy. Enjoy this one. Pump it up.
Gangnam Style.
Yep.
If you liked this episode of Yalla Home, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.